Hey everyone! So this video is going to be more of a prediction video, and I'm going to predict the new Dual Specialist toon that will eventually come out. I have no idea what type of timeline we're going off of here, but I'm really hoping that it's a 5-star that we already have. It would kind of just make sense to me because, they're introducing all these new toons. So why not an old nostalgic toon that everyone used to love and still loves in the 5-star arenas? Now before we jump into it, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the content that I've been posting. So far we have 3 Dual Specialist toons that are 6 stars, and I believe 2 or 3 that are S-Class. So when we focus just on the 6-star toons, we have Blue Michonne, and we needed to turn in a Chris as well as an Ezekiel in order to get this beheading toon. Now this Michonne, I've actually seen her to be pretty effective. It's a little less effective to use her in the S-Class world, but she's still a pretty decent toon in my opinion. The beheading ability is super useful by being able to decap the enemy, especially when they're under 20% HP because of execute. Her rush deals 3 separate attacks of 275% damage, so again another toon that uses basic attacks, and the biggest downside with basic attacks as a toon's rush is that mods affect her as well as weapons. So if she hits an absolute defense toon that has that weapon, or a stun gun, impair weapon, a reflect damage mod, it could either blow her up, stun her, impair her, and so on. The turn 2 active skill is pretty useful, a stun as well as a defense down. It's similar to Krista in some ways, except Krista focuses instead of stuns, and it just gives her another level of control that she didn't really have before. Finally, her weapon, 30% attack, a medium bonus to AP when attacking, and when attacking an 80% chance to attack with a stronger trait. Now I've mentioned this before in a separate video, but an 80% chance to attack with a stronger trait, it doesn't work against fast toons because she already has a trait advantage, so it's almost like the weapon only works quote 75% of the time, and then there's another 80% of that 75% based on the frequency that the weapon will actually use a stronger attack. Now, something clever about these Dual Specialist toons is that the 2 specialist skills are always a combination of the 2 toons needed along with the kites to redeem the Dual Specialist toon. With Axel, the Dual Specialist toon for alerts, you needed Riker and Wayland, another decapitation toon as well as an execution toon, which makes the specialist skill beheading. I'm still a fair ways away from getting Axel. I need 8 more red kites, and they stopped running that map. I also need Riker as well as Wayland. Now Roxy is a dual specialist toon that I do have, and her specialist skill is dexterity, which is the same as S-Class Kapoor. So the 2 toons that are needed in order to get Roxy, along with 10 blue kites, are Harlan and Jessie, an evasion toon and a tenacity toon. Based on Alert and Strong having the same dual specialist skill, you'd assume that blue and yellow would also have the same dual specialist skill. So I'm anticipating that the yellow toon that will eventually come out will have dexterity, the same as Kapoor as well as Roxy. So based on the general trends of the other 3 dual specialist toons that you could get from the museum by using kites and 2 other maxed out toons where their specialist skills equal the combined or dual specialist skill of a new toon, it seems reasonable that the new toon would also have dexterity. And dexterity is a combination of evasion as well as tenacity. Now, we have a number of toons that have the evasion specialist skill, but very few toons that have tenacity. Specifically, we only have 1 6-star that has tenacity, and that is the blue 6-star Jessie, who was used in the Roxy turn-in. Now, I think it would be really nice if we got to reuse Jessie, just because a lot of people did end up maxing her out in order to get Roxy, and the people who haven't, well, at least if they do just Jessie, they'll be half the way there to getting both Roxy and to getting this new yellow toon. Another reasonable toon that they could use is Kapoor, who actually has the dexterity specialist skill, because every war you can get rotten heads from reaching milestones as well as rank rewards. So it's kind of fair as well to use him just because it's obtainable for all players, whether you're free to play, a mild spender, or a heavy spender. And finally, the toon that I would love to see as a dual specialist 6-star is Kate. Kate is one of the best 5-star toons in the game. She was amazing even in the 6-star era because of her rush as well as her specialist skill. So for the players who are unfamiliar with Kate, and the reasons why I think she's a great toon and a great candidate to be a dual specialist toon stems mainly from her rush. At 56 AP, it's quite fast. When she rushes, she gives all teammates plus 50% attack, as well as focus, as well as a 2-turn healing effect of 30% of their max HP. Plus 50% attack is a high percentage, especially on S-class toons and 6-stars. It can be the game-changing effect that you need. 50% attack is quite high, as well as the ability Focus. So Focus allows a player to attack behind a human shield. It also means your toons cannot be influenced by Confuse or Taunt. In my opinion, Focus is one of the best abilities in the game because it allows you to exhibit a greater level of control. Now it's important to note that if your toon is taunted or confused, and say the effect lasts 3 or 4 turns, after Focus runs out, you will still be taunted or confused. Now, on the plus side of this, and I've mentioned this in other videos, you can have an attack up when taunted mod on your toons, and they will still get the attack up boost when taunted if they are focused, meaning they're still able to normally attack, as well as rush, use their active skill. If they're a commander, they can still command, but they do get that bonus if they attack while under the influence of Focus as well as Taunt when they have the attack up when taunted mod. Now, Kate is an amazing 5-star, and I would hate to see her become a less amazing 6-star. And a good example of a 5-star toon who was pretty good, but then the design of a toon I think just went completely sideways or the wrong direction is Romanov. Romanov was a pretty cool 5-star toon. His design and his look was very unique and made him very memorable. He had a 45 AP very fast rush. He dealt 600% damage and 400 burn damage for 3 turns to a single enemy, and was a decapitation toon. And I remember the free-to-play players were really asking for a good decapitation toon, and we were hoping on Romanov to be that toon. His weapon, a bound weapon, for some reason it's defense down when attacking, when really with it being a blowtorch, it would make more sense if it dealt some sort of burn damage. But alas, just defense down. When he turned into a 6-star, his design was still pretty cool. His rush, 76 AP, deal 500% damage, and impair for 2 turns to 1 enemy. So his rush didn't really improve that much. His stats did, but I believe Lockdown did a video actually where he compared Romanov as a 6-star to 6-star Governor, a red Generation 1 toon, who as a Generation 1 6-star had a higher attack than Generation 2 Romanov and more attack on his rush at 550%. Now, the way I envision Kate as a 6-star dual specialist, I think that she would have dexterity, and then I also think her active skill would be similar to Princess's active skill with Normalize. As a reminder to what Normalize does, is it basically disarms a toon's specialist skill. So for dual specialist Kate, I'm seeing dexterity as her specialist skill. I'm seeing a Normalize as well as a heal on her active skill. So I'm thinking of, instead of the healing on her rush, if the healing was added to her active skill, so that it was a multiple turn healing, and for good measure, we could add in a plus 35% AP bonus. That way, if the opponent applies exhaust, then it does hurt her. So that way on the first turn, you're almost required to daze an opponent who has exhaust or control them in some way. That way Kate isn't too overpowered, but she still is very useful. Some other changes I could see occurring to Kate is her AP increasing to either 66 AP or 76 AP, and then the all teammates get 40% bonus attack instead of plus 50%, because S-class toons with 40% is more than enough. I would keep the focus for the 2 turns, and as I mentioned before, the healing would go to her active skill instead. So overall, that's the type of build I imagine on Kate. I think she would be heavily defensive, so a lot of defense and HP, less attack of course because she is a supporting character. By her becoming a dual specialist toon, she would need yellow flags to upgrade, and that would be a nice easy way to save on yellow gear because I know a lot of us are trying to upgrade Arav and other yellow characters. So by using yellow flags, it's just an alternative source of gear that's needed. With this, I would love to see the red kites, blue kites, green kites, as well as their corresponding flag roadmaps come back so that we can try and earn these other dual specialist toons that, you know what, we might not be able to use them a lot now that S-class toons are out, but they are cool toons to add to our collection, as well as they're something for us to do. Thank you everyone for watching and listening to my video. Let me know in the comment section below about your feelings if Kate became the new yellow dual specialist toon.